Hundreds of disgruntled Emfuleni local municipality workers who had down tools over the council's salary non-payment are expected to report to work or to the workstations today. Yesterday, the municipality announced that it had reached an agreement with the Eskom and apologized for the inconvenience of paying workers late. However, SAMWU, who represented the workers, felt that the workers shouldn't have been caught in between this issue this issue to start with. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala is now joining us live. Nqobile, a very good morning to you. So tell us about this agreement that the municipality has reached with Eskom and how this then filters down to the issue around the payments.
Well, we are going to just bring in them to give us more details on that, Aldrin. But from what we know is that there was conversations that were ongoing between the municipality and the provincial assistants, and as well as Eskom. And the idea is that they're supposed to be paid back the amount that the municipality currently owes them. But interestingly, as much as the municipality say they have reached that agreement, and that agreement has resulted in them paying the workers, not all of them have received their money. As a result, they've said, as we were speaking to the workers earlier on, they've said that they just want a meeting before they get started with work. I want to bring in the municipality, of course, to unpack that deal. Makasanke, you, of course, had a deal in place. Tell us, what is it?
Yeah, no, thank you, and good morning to you and your listeners at home. What has happened is that the ongoing negotiations between ourselves, the provincial government, the national government, led by ministers, of course, and the Premier, and Eskom, we finally reached an agreement actually yesterday, and we had an agency agreement that was signed, and the attachment of our account was uplifted, and then salaries were paid. So salaries were paid, but I think those who may say that they don't have their money, maybe because they're using a different account than the one that the municipality was using. But most of our workers now are paid. As you can see, some of them are preparing for a meeting now at 9, where they will be meeting the municipal manager to address them, and maybe they want to have a conversation with him to assure them that such a situation should not happen again in future. But I'm sure later on you'll have an opportunity to also have a discussion with him, and we are also invited to also attend the meeting so that you can get the first-hand information yourself as well.
And let's talk about that deal, though, because this was conversations that were ongoing, and you made it clear even yesterday that you wanted to reach an agreement. But in terms of the debt, because at this point what we know is that you owe billions of rands to Eskom, and this is why your accounts were attached. What did you then agree on that ensures that you are able to have that attachment uplifted?
Look, the content of the agreement are still subject to internal discussion. So I think at the latter stage we'll be able to clarify the details properly. But what I know is that we've reached an agreement, an agency agreement. It's more like we are going to be in partnership in terms of distribution, and then obviously there will be sharing of profits. But the details of that are contained in that document, and then we'll wait for the MM to have an engagement with us, because yesterday he had an opportunity in the evening to address the MECO to clarify what was the agreement about. But one thing I can guarantee you, we do owe Eskom, and we do take responsibility, but we don't owe them the amount, as we've correctly said, the one that was purported to be at the earlier stage, because they've taken some of our large power users as from last year. So obviously we're still going to aggregate the amount correctly, and then it will be known how much really we're owing them. But remember, we're still part of the debt relief programs, which will also be able to help and enhance our effort in making sure that we reduce the debt, and maybe some of the amount that we are owing, it's let off through negotiation and discussion.
And of course, you said one of the issues that has brought the municipality to this stand is the fact that some of the people in the municipality have not been paying the Eskom bill, or rather the electricity bill. The question then is, were there plans to cut off those that have not paid by the municipality?
Yeah, it's one of our strategies that we have, but we don't want to be an arbitrary municipality, as you know that we're a democratic government. So a democratic government is about the people and for the people. So the people must play their civic role and make sure that they pay. That's what we've been telling them. That's the message that we've been preaching. But there are some areas where there have been illegal connections that we've disconnected. And for you to reconnect them, obviously, we'll need to pay a certain amount. And we have collected a lot of money last month through that program. But that's not the only solution. The other solution is that we're having public meetings in all our communities through our ward councillors and persuade them to make sure that they come up and come in front and pay their municipal debt and pay for the services that they receive. I don't think that we need to have a situation where we are enforcing ourselves, because we don't want to enforce ourselves. People must know that this is their government and that's where we get our money from.
And lastly, just as for the workers are still waiting, some of them to receive that amount of money and others have, how are you going to make sure that workers never go through this again?
I think this agreement will be a long-lasting agreement, and it's one of the things that were stumbling block between us and Eskom actually initially, because there were just disagreements about certain clauses that we felt that should we agree to them, they will make the municipality to be dysfunctional. But now that after all of that has been resolved, we think that we would not have this situation in future. So I think the captain of the ship today is going to be able to assure the workers the as he addressed them now at 9 o'clock.
Thank you very much. So, of course, we are going to go to that meeting, Aldrin, to hear more in terms of what is the lasting solutions. You will know that a couple of municipalities do owe Eskom an amount of over 50 billion rand, and one of those municipalities, Emfuleni, as a result, they had some of their accounts attached. But what is the solution? We'll find out more from the municipal manager when he does speak and account to the workers.
Well, thank you so much for that update there. Nqobile Madlala joining us from the Emfuleni municipality.